you just stand next to the chairs behind the blocks. In heat 3, you'll stand along the wall next to me, okay? When heat 1 gets out of the water, heat 2 steps up to the blocks, heat 3 goes to the chairs behind the blocks, okay? When you get out of the water, you come this way, talk to your coach, and then your next event will come up, okay? It'll go first event, 5-minute break, second event, 10-minute break, third event, 5-minute break, fourth event, 10-minute break. That's the pattern, okay? But when I call an event, I want everybody who's swimming that event, heats 1, 2, and 3, all down so we can check you in, okay? Please don't go straight to the blocks, come through me, and we keep going counterclockwise the whole time, right? Okay, let's have all 200 IM swimmers.
Good morning and welcome back to the 2020 Parkway IMX swim meet. We are here at Parkway North High School getting ready to bring you session number 4 of this 8-session meet over the course of 3 days. My name is Matt Judkins. I'm partnered today with our producer, Kevin Girth, and we're going to bring you the action from Parkway North High School here. It's the Aquatic Center on campus here at North High School. We get set for event number 1. During this session. This is event number 19. If you're following along with your heat sheet at home, this will be the mixed 11 and over 200-yard IM. We'll have 3 heats of this, and swimmers will range in ages from 11 up to 16 over the course of those 3 heats. This, of course, will be one full lap of each stroke, starting with the butterfly, then to the backstroke, to the breaststroke, and finishing up with the freestyle. In our first heat, we'll have 3 swimmers that are on the docket. They will take up lanes 2, 3, and 4. For those of you viewing for the first time, lane number 1 is at the top of your screen, lane number 6 at the bottom of your screen. It'll be Charlie Schaefer, lane 2, Anderson Taki in lane 3. He was here last night, as was Penelope Alcott in lane number 4. These 3 swimmers trying to get their best times. Taki has a best time of 3:46.84 for the young 11-year-old, and he's quickly out into the pool, and they'll go right into the butterfly. Alcott, 13 years old, Charlie Schaefer, 12 years old. Remember again, 200 yards all the way through. This will be one full lap, 2 lengths of the pool in each of the 4 strokes, combined into one event called the individual medley. Some good times turned in earlier today. We had our second triple A of the weekend, dropped in Tanner Hulsman. Butterfly, last event of the day. Getting a lot of drop times over the course of this weekend. Hulsman also turned in a double A time for the 12-year-old age group. Backstroke now, first one to the wall. On that far side, Charlie Schaefer, again, 12 years old. As he races back down to the other end, the other 2 swimmers consecutively, Alcott and Taki, also touch the wall on their backstroke, coming in now halfway back to the starting end of the pool. Swimmers will shift on this one over to the breaststroke now. A lot of times you will see, for those of you who watch swimming or are more familiar with swimming, those who are very good in the butterfly typically do very good in the backstroke and vice versa. Breaststroke, different type of stroke. The first 2 strokes, more known as power strokes. You add the technique in there, that's how you get fast. This is a very technical stroke, this breaststroke is. You have to do it right. You have to be very fluid. You have to stay low in the water in order to be quick and then have proper leg kick. As you see now there, on your screen, moving from right to left in lane number 4. Alcott closing the gap against Schaefer. Taki still a little bit behind them. He was the only one in this event with a preliminary time. He's looking to take some seconds off of that one. He came in at 3:46, just 11 years old once again. Now they'll go into the freestyle. Schaefer, first one off the wall. He'll turn and go the other way, past the flags, and he leads by about just a little bit more than a body length here in this one. These two swimmers do not yet have an established time, so whatever they put will be good for them nonetheless. Taki will touch the wall. Now he'll go into the freestyle. As they head back home now, we often talk about in this stroke who's got a little left in the tank. Looks like both of these swimmers do. Schaefer going to make it to the wall in a very impressive time. He'll go under 250, 247.09 for that young man. Soft touch here. Now it's 252. Very good time as well for Alcott. And coming back in, trying to make his best time. Looks like he will do that by a significant margin as the 11-year-old Taki battles his way towards the finish line. He swims in the blue group with Coach Gavin Hager. Gavin cheering him on, giving him some coaching tips as he comes in at 3:13.52. So quite a significant drop for that. 33 seconds for that young man. And that will do worlds for his confidence. As we talk about these races, it's really not about who finishes first in the heat, but more about how are you developing in terms of your time. What did you do better than your previous time? Did you drop? How is your technique? That's what the coaches are looking for. Here as we go into heat number 2, top of the screen to the bottom, it'll be Cora Donaldson, Jasmine Flowers, Ava Assinger, Lillian Driscoll, Carolyn Spoor, and Cece Chen in lane number 6 at the bottom of your screen. 3 12-year-olds in this one, a couple of 14-year-olds, and then Assinger is a 16-year-old in this race. Butterfly again, the power stroke. Flowers leads off the wall, followed right in there by Assinger and Driscoll, as well as Donaldson and Spoor. Chen rounding things out here in lane number 6. Go back the other way into the backstroke. Nice clean turns on the breakout for each of these 6 swimmers. You want to go low in the water, see if you can't stretch it off of the wall a little bit underwater. There is a distance limitation. That's what you see, those orange cones down there near the bottom of your screen and near lane line. You can't go past those, otherwise it'll cause a foul. It'll be a disqualification. You can't stretch the whole length of the pool underneath the water now. Tight races. We look at Flowers and Assinger battling in lane number 2 and 3. Good battle for third place as well in the heat with Driscoll, Donaldson, and Spoor. Driscoll getting just a little bit ahead as we go into the breaststroke now. A little bucket turn there in lane number 2 for Flowers, a technique that a lot of these swimmers will embrace. More of a veteran technique that they'll have to use, get a little bit more strength and push off of that wall. This is the stroke that requires focus and technique all the way through in order to be good and efficient at it. Now the swimmer's starting to even things out a little bit. Still though, Flowers with the lead. And Assinger right on her tail along with Driscoll. Catching up a little bit is Carolyn Spoor. Donaldson as well, and Chen has closed that gap as well. When they touch the wall, they'll go back for 50 yards of freestyle. And that's an all-out sprint right back to the finish line. There's the touch. First one there is Flowers. 2:12 is her turnaround time. That'll lead the pack. She's trying to beat a time of 3:05. She should easily do that. Coaches continue to implore their swimmers. Each of the groups, we'll go through the coaches here in just a moment, who we have on deck today. The Flowers leading the way. Flip turn at the far wall. Freestyle now. You're going to see him sprint all the way to the finish. Who's got it left in the tank? This is where you have to have a little bit of energy to see if you can't close it out. She's trying to go under 3 minutes. Ms. Flowers. She's going to do that easily. She'll cruise in at a time of 2:52.02. Followed right behind there by Driscoll and Askinger. Looks like we had a soft touch from Driscoll, so time did not register on the clock. 2:59.95 for Donaldson. $2:59.47 there for Spoor, and 3:04.87 for Chen. Looks like everybody dropped a little bit of time in that one with the exception of Assinger, but she was right near her time. So nice race for those 6 swimmers. As we get set for the third and final heat in this one, top to bottom of your screen, it'll be Liz Myers in lane number 1, Audrey Wagner in lane number 2, Jeremiah Koenig in lane number 3, Emmett Shank in 4, Sydney Matheny in 5, and Daniel Lansbaum getting his first swim out of the weekend here in lane number 6. Of course, Matheny was here last night. She starred and was very good in her races. The 12-year-old, we have two 12-year-olds in Matheny and Lansbaum, two 13-year-olds in Wagner and Shank, 14-year-old in Myers, and then Koenig is the 15-year-old. And Koenig right now leading the pack. Uses that long stroke. You see that big wingspan. That really helps in this stroke. It helps in the butterfly. It helps in the backstroke as well to have those long arms and that long reach. He does a nice turn. Quickly out of the water, though, on his breakout. He leads right now, followed closely by Matheny in lane number 5. Lane number 2 is Wagner. As Koenig touches the wall and goes back the other way. Matheny and Wagner continue to be in that same spot. Emmett Shank, followed by Lansbaum, and then Myers in lane number 1. After the backstroke, they go into the breaststroke. Power strokes to start in the first 2. Technique and finesse stroke here in the breaststroke. You see, as Koenig really starts to stretch it out, he keeps low to the water. Good form for that young man. This is a stroke a lot of times where swimmers might struggle due to the technical nature of it, but boy, I want to tell you what, impressive swim thus far for Jeremiah Koenig. He came in at 2:21. And all these swimmers looking for their personal best. Really tight now with lanes 2, 4, 5, and 6. And Myers also swimming very strong in lane number 1. Now the freestyle for Koenig. He comes in at 1:43, trying to flip a 2:21. He should be able to come back in that time frame and get a personal best. We'll see what he's got left in terms of energy, but strong swim down here from Daniel Lansbaum now as he's moved into second place. Shank in 3rd, Matheny 4th, and Wagner 5th, followed by Myers. So that breaststroke can definitely be an equalizer for a lot of these youngsters. To the wall now, and an excellent time, 2:14.75 for Koenig. That's a really strong time for the 15-year-old. Dropped 7 seconds off of his. Here comes Lansbaum. He's neck and neck with Shank. To the wall. We'll see who gets it first. It'll be Lansbaum, 2:30.97, a 20-second drop for him. Right in there with him was Shank, 2:31. So he shaved a little time off of his best previous, followed by Matheny at 2:33, a 10-second drop for that young lady. Wagner also very strong at 2:37 and 2:48. Both of those two young ladies, Myers and Wagner, right on their previous time. So that'll end it for our first event. They'll have a quick little cool down of about 5 minutes. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more action. The next event coming up will be the 100-yard freestyle. Before we go to break, though, we want to thank all the sponsors of the Parkway Swim Club. First, Phillips 66, Renoco Beverage Solutions, Quiet Village Landscaping Company, Design Your Paradise. Also brought to you by Mary Tuttle's The Art of Living, My Way Mobile Storage, Dense Express, Amazon Smile. You shop, Amazon gives, and of course, the team sponsor from an equipment standpoint, Tier. So we want to thank all those sponsors of the Parkway Swim program. They are part of what allows the program to operate in the manner that it does. We'll give those throughout the course of the day, but we want to thank them again. And one more reminder, you can text me right here, Matt Judkins, at 314-369-3289. Send me a text. Let me know your name, your child's name, maybe some interesting anecdotes about them, what they like to do, what grade they're in, where they go to school, maybe what stroke is their favorite, those types of details, and we'll mention those right here on the air. Once again, text me at 314-369-3289. Matt Judkins, give me your name and your child's name, and we'll mention them here on the air. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a few moments. We'll have the next event, the 100-yard freestyle. Welcome back to the 2020 Parkway IMX Swim Meet. My name is Matt Judkins, along with our producer, Kevin Girth. We're bringing you today's action. We are right back at it here now with the 100-yard freestyle, 3 heats. First heat will have 3 swimmers from top to bottom of your screen. It'll be Kayla Wall, Carolyn Spoor, and Cece Chen. This event will be 4 lengths of the pool, 2 full laps, and these 3 young ladies looking to get their best times. And Kayla Wall, we got a note from her family. Yesterday was her 13th birthday, so this is her first swim meet, swimming as a 13-year-old. She does not have a time in this event yet. She leads on the early flip after the first 25 yards and starts to lengthen that out just a little bit. Spoor comes in at 1:19.43 and Chen 1:31.73. Again, all looking for their best times. So that's a good first one at a 13-year-old for Wall as she touches the wall and goes the other way at 34.09. She lengthens it out now almost by a full body lead. So we want to thank her family for sending in that note. Remember now, you can send me a note, 314-369-3289. Identify yourself. Let me know who your child is, or your grandchild, or niece or nephew. Give me a few nice little tidbits about them, and we'll say them here on the air. Kayla Wall, now very strong. She's going to touch first. 1:10.98, and for the 13-year-old, a nice established time. 1:16.81 on the drop, and 1:20.02 for Chen. All of them improved on their those two improved on their previous times, dropping 3 seconds nearly and 11 seconds nearly, respectively, for Spoor and Chen. Congratulations to them. Heat number 2, we've got 4 swimmers on the docket. Looks like we're going to have a scratch on one of them. Tommy Fichter not here. Tyler Richter's in lane 3, top of your screen. Penelope Alcott right next to him, and then Avery Kuhn in lane number 5 at the bottom. Lanes are numbered here, 1 through 6. 1 is at the top of the screen, 6 at the bottom of the screen. Got a couple of 13-year-olds in Richter and Alcott, and then Avery Kuhn is a 12-year-old. Richter out very fast, though, on his first touch, coming back the other way. Trying to get inside 30 seconds on that first touch. On the flip turn, he's just at it. 30.68 for him, 33.01 for Alcott, and then going the other way, Kuhn, she'll touch at 37.87. All those times faster in the first 50 than their previous best. Tyler, first one to the wall, kicks off. He's coming back the other way, digging hard. He's got a lot left in the tank. He starts to speed it up as he hits the halfway pool mark. He gets to the flag. He should be well under his established time of 1:14. Alcott also coming in at 1:17 prelim. She should be well under that. 1:03.45. Nice swim that time by Richter, dropping 11 seconds, off of his 1:08.40 for Penelope, dropping 9 seconds, and then Kuhn, she'll round things out at 1:17.20, dropping 2 seconds. So congratulations, a great job. If you recall, if you were listening in our first session earlier today, we had head coach John David Williford on, and he talked about what they're looking for in the swimmers, and that is dropping times in these events. Here we come now with the third and final heat of this one. It'll be Arana Kewitt, top of the screen, Sierra Graham, lane number 2, Jeremiah Koenig in 3, Liz Myers in 4, Ava Assinger in 5, and Jasmine Flowers in lane number 6. Little shout out for Arana Kewitt. She's 11 years old. She's in the blue group with Coach Gavin. She's homeschooled by her parents. Favorite stroke is backstroke, and when she grows up, Steve Kewitt tells us she wants to be a zoo vet. Quite a nice endeavor, and I think there's a lot of kids who have that dream with their pets and whatnot early in their lifetime. There's no doubt about it, but nice way to spend your life doing something you love. Jeremiah Koenig, though, stretching it out now. He's on his way back. He had a very good split, and the 15-year-old, good length of the pool away from everybody else at this point. He's going to touch in good fashion, 55.13. Nice time for him. He drops 4 seconds off of his previous best. The next two coming in, it's Graham and Myers. It'll be Myers, or excuse me, it was Graham who just out-touched her. Sierra 105.06, so she drops a second and a half off of her time. Third place, 105.08, just barely off .02 for Myers. Fourth place in the heat, 109.83 for Hewitt, and she was right on her time, just slightly ahead of it, though. She drops 1.15 on her time. Assinger at 110, right at just a little bit off of her time, and then at 111.45 for Flowers, just a little off her time as well. So good swimming all the way around. We are at a 10-minute break at this point, and we're going to try and get Coach Chris Etherington here. He is the age group select coach, head age group coach for Parkway Swim Program. We're going to get him on the air here, talk a little bit about some of the endeavors that he's got going for the program and what he looks for in some of those swimmers as he starts to bring them through the program as well. Many of you know the progression in the Parkway program. You start out with swim school. That's where they teach how to swim. Then you go from red to white to blue, and then on from there to age group selects if you would like to go to the age group select, or to senior one or senior, and then on to the national prep and national level with John David Williford. So Coach Chris, welcome to our broadcast here, and obviously you're a very busy man this weekend. The majority of the swimmers here, or at least a lot of them, I shouldn't say the majority, a lot of them swim underneath your tutelage in the age group select team, and you've got a lot of say in how the overall program gets developed as well, and so you're looking for a lot of different things in your swimmers this weekend. But let's talk a little bit about that age group select part of the program. Kind of describe for those who out there who may not be familiar, what is it, why is it part of the program, what is it, and then if if swimmers aspire to get there, what do they really need to do, what are you looking for?
I'd say for AGS, it's just kind of more of that next level for the kind of the top age groupers, and there's a lot of things that kind of go in effect of how's their kicking, how's their strokes. It's not just about time, it's commitment as well. Passion, that's something that I believe in a lot, is just finding that passion in that swimmer. And, it's okay if a lot of people don't have that passion, and, we want to get them to that right place where it fits their needs. And if there's somebody that has a little bit more passion, then we want to make sure we have another area for them that they can excel in as well.
Yeah, and I think the passion starts to show through in this group. They're at the pool almost every day, missing some. You do have some who do play other sports as well. I think that's still encouraged, especially at the younger ages. Most of those kids in that AGS group, 14 and under for the most part. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other things outside of the pool that the kids do as well in that AGS group, because swimming's just not about what you do in the water. It's about mental preparation and other physical preparation, and some of the things that you've kind of brought to the program when you came in a couple of years ago.
Right, yeah. I think one of the main thing was just that mental toughness that you were just talking about. And it's just, we can work and work and work, but if we can't, fulfill that when we're actually behind the block, then kind of what's the point to it? So we do a lot of mental sets that just kind of get them out of their comfort zone. Even just, the dryland program that we brought to Parkway is just another thing. It's just being a more athletic athlete instead of just being a swimmer. I mean, back in the day, it was you're just going to swim and that's all you're going to do. And now it's, the more athletic you are, the more you're able to handle that next step that you can do. So it's not just swimmers. We're trying to, kind of perfect the athlete as well.
Yeah, making good athletes. Athletic ability is a big part of it. We've talked about technique on the broadcast, but bringing athletic ability as well. One of the things that you've also had the opportunity to do since joining the Parkway program is also coach at the regional level, the zone level. Last year, you were the 13 and 14-year-old boys coach for the Ozark team. So explain to some of the parents out there who may not know what that is, what their swimmers might be striving for, and what the role you play in that program.
Right. Yeah. With to go to zones, it's kind of the top of the top with kind of in that zone area. Since we're with Ozark Swimming, then if you get a AAA cut, then you're part of the Ozark team. You get to travel and swim at the at zones with Ozark Swimming and everything. But one of those is the fun part about that is you see so much fast swimming at such a young age, and even though they're still doing other sports and everything, but getting to that zones step, even if you don't get to it, that's still kind of that goal. Even if you don't, there's always the next step that you can go to. It's sectionals, even when doing high school and everything. So I wouldn't say I push zones a lot. That's something that we want to get. I think last year, since it was canceled, I think we had, before, I think at the end of summer, we probably could have had about 14 swimmers go, which it's been a while since Parkway sent that many. So that's something that, we were upset about, but, it is what it is. And, we got to, start a new slate and everything. But, we're excited about the future, and Parkway's going to be a powerhouse.
Yeah, and we're watching some very fast times. John David brought up in our interview earlier this morning, what we're really looking for this weekend is establish some times and drop on your previous best. We've seen a lot of that this weekend. Anything else you're looking for in particular this weekend from your swimmers?
Oh, just having fun. One thing they got to realize is, it could be all gone tomorrow, and, this is the first meet back since a lot of them was BB champs. And just got to have fun with it, see what our standard is. And then, that sets a standard, and then we get to, go back to work and work hard and practice and fix what we need to fix, and then see what the next standard is.
Well, the fun part of it for you is going back to work and actually teaching these kids. I know it's not the interview part, so we're going to let you go. We want to thank head age group coach Chris Etherington for joining us here today. And, of course, if you've got questions about the program, reach out to the boosters, reach out to the folks on the board, reach out to the coaches, and they can explain how all these different tiers of athletes get trained and whatnot. Coach, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We are back here at the 2020 Parkway IMX swim meet, getting set for the 100-yard backstroke. This will be 3 heats. First heat will have 3 competitors, lanes 2 through 4. Represented here in this one, topping your screen to the bottom, it'll be Kayla Wall, Carolyn Spohr, and Avery Kuhn. Wall still trying to establish her first time in the event. Spohr comes in at 126.31 and Kuhn 143.61. All 3 swimmers about even now as they approach the wall on the first turn. This will be 4 lengths of the pool, 2 full laps as they go into the flip turn, and the breakout following that flip turn underwater, trying to stretch it out a little bit and get as much real estate underneath them as they can before they pop to the top of the water. All of them at the flags now. Slightly ahead is Kayla Wall, the 13-year-old. She hits the wall at 40.99. Nice established time, 41.88 and 43.29. Well ahead of their previous pace are the other 2, Spohr and Kuhn. They had previous times coming into this one. Kuhn just 12 years old, Spohr 14, and Wall 13. While they're at the other end of the pool, we'll bring you some quick updates on some time cuts from the previous. Jeremiah Kenning at 55.13, a BB time in the 15-16-year-olds. BB times also for Liz Myers and Sierra Graham, and a B time for Arana Hewitt. So congratulations to those 4 swimmers for making another cut. We're going to come down to the wall now for Kayla Wall, the 13-year-old, just slightly ahead of Spohr. Let's see who's going to touch one. She coasts in. It'll be soft touch, but 125.33 for that young lady, 127.97. Actually, that's going to be the times for Spoor and Kuhn. We didn't quite get the exact time for Walls. I think she might have done a soft touch there, and so we'll have to get that from the official timer. But nonetheless, a nice drop for each of the other two. About a second for Spoor and 12.5 seconds for Kuhn on her swim out in lane number 4. So now we're going to go to heat number 2. There'll be 5 competitors in this one, although Tommy Fichter does not look to be here, so he will be a scratch in this event. It'll be Charlie Schaefer in lane 2, Lillian Driscoll in lane 3, Jasmine Flowers in lane 4, and Ava Asinger in lane number 5. Got a little bit of a delay here. So we've got a quick need to the coach. Everybody's going to relax for just a moment. And as they do, let me bring you our sponsors once again here for the Parkway Swim Club. Always good to have those here. Give them a nice mention on the air. It'll be Phillips 66, Renoco Beverage Solutions, Quiet Village Landscaping Company, Design Your Paradise, and Mary Tuttle's, The Art of Living, My Way Mobile Storage, Dents Express, Amazon Smile, You Shop, Amazon Gives, and Pier Sporting Goods. They provide the swimwear and all the gear for Parkway gear and accessories. More shouts out for a couple of more swimmers here. Josie Flowers, Jasmine Flowers, mother, says her favorite stroke is the fly. She goes to Parkway South High School. Favorite band is Five Finger Death Punch. So there you go, our first one with the favorite band. And my apologies, we got a pronunciation correction. It's Ava Asinger, so we won't make that mistake again. I think I pronounced that with a long A previously. And so she'll be here in lane number 5. Will Young Ava, the 16-year-old, as the swimmers dive in on this one again. It'll be Schaefer, Driscoll, Flowers, and Asinger here in this heat. Lanes 2 through 5, top to bottom of the screen, as Charlie Schaefer pulls quickly ahead of everyone at 4 lengths of the pool. This is length number 1. He hits the wall first. Number of swimmers around the edges of the pool cheering on their fellow teammates. Everyone here competitive. They're competitive for their specific groups, but at the end of the day, all in the Parkway program. Schaefer first to the wall, followed by Driscoll. Nice turn for him. I wonder if there's might be an issue with that pad in number 2, because it's the second time in a row we didn't get a register, but a 37.03 split for Driscoll. Her previous time, 1:21.23. She's well ahead of that. Flowers also in with a nice preliminary time of 1:21.80. She's ahead of it as well. But right now it's Schaefer who's well ahead of the pack here in this heat. Coach Gavin Hager cheering him on. He gets all the way to the wall. He'll touch at 1:14.76. Followed closely right behind him at 1:19.46 by Driscoll. Asinger 1:21.69, and Flowers coming in at 1:24.83. So nice swim by everyone there. 3 out of the 4 dropping, and significant drop of almost 9 seconds for Schaefer. We now go to heat number 3, the final heat here in this 100-yard backstroke. Top to bottom of the screen, it'll be Myers, Wagner, Koenig, Matheny, Shank, and Hewitt. And they're off. So we mentioned on the air earlier, you can send me a quick text about your son or daughter, or grandson or daughter, or niece or nephew, brother, sister, whoever it may be listening. My phone number is 314-369-3289. Once again, 314-369-3289. Quickly stretching out the lead early here is Jeremiah Koenig, and he uses that long reach. Again, another stroke where that big wingspan is extremely helpful. He showed his quality in that freestyle and also in the butterfly, achieving BB times in both of those. Right now in the backstroke, he's at 75 yards, does a nice flip turn, goes back the other way. Koenig trying to break 109.19. He's right on pace to do that. Followed closely behind him by Matheny, the 12-year-old. Third place in the heat is Audrey Wagner, as Koenig comes to the wall in 1:03.05, so 6-second drop for him. Right in behind him is Matheny. She's in at 1:09.74, so a 3-second drop for her. Wagner follows closely at 1:12.45, a half-second drop for her. Fourth place then, 1:16, a little bit of an ad for Shank, but he's right near his time. 1:17 for Myers, 95, and she right close to her time, and 1:21.05, just a little bit off is Hewitt. So that'll end it here for event number 3 here of this second morning session. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll try and recap some of those times, let you know if anyone achieved any new cuts. We hope you're enjoying. You're watching the Parkway Swim Club on the Parkway YouTube channel. Welcome back to the 2020 Parkway IMX Swim Meet. We are at Parkway North High School. My name is Matt Judkins. I'm here along with the producer, Kevin Girth. We're bringing you this great action. We get set for event number 4 here of this session, event number 22 of the overall meet. This is the 100-yard breaststroke. And the swimmers in order from top to bottom of the screen. Jasmine Flowers in lane number 1, Cece Chen in lane number 2, Liz Myers in 3, Carolyn Spohr in 4, Cora Donaldson in 5, and Kayla Wall in lane number 6. Again, we want to thank all the folks who have sent us messages over the course of the meet so far. You can do that by using the phone number 314-369-3289. And we'll mention your granddaughter or grandson as we get a shout out here to Liz Myers from her grandparents. She is in lane number 3 right now, and of course she's a freshman at Kirkwood High School, and they say good luck to all the kids. We wish them a great meet, and they're very proud. So we know that we've got folks not only here in the St. Louis area watching, but all over the country. That's the joy of the internet. We had some folks tuning in from Florida last night as we got a note from them. More from around the area as well. It's just not moms and dads, it's grandmas and grandpas, aunts and uncles, cousins, brothers and sisters. Back to the wall now. First one to touch that time here in lane number 5 was Donaldson, followed closely behind by Chen. Middle of the pool, right in behind them, is Myers and Spohr, who we just mentioned a moment ago. Lane number 1, up there at the top of the screen, Flowers, and then Wall in lane number 6. She just had a birthday. First one to the wall here, lane number 2, Cece Chen, 1:29.51. Nice drop for her of roughly 9 seconds. Coming in the next one, 1:30. Lane number 5, that was Donaldson, 1:30.78. Third place in the heat, lane number 3, 1:33.32 was Myers, 1:34.48 with a nice little drop for Spohr. 1:37 first established time for Myers, and then 1:50.49 first established time for Wall. Now we'll go into the second heat here in this one. This will be the final heat of the event. Top to bottom of the screen, it'll be Assinger, Lansbaum, Koenig, Graham, Richter, and Alcott. First one up out of the water, and in a noselead is Jeremiah Koenig. And using his long arms, he pushes out here in the breaststroke. The breaststroke, a much more technical stroke than some of the other ones. You have to be spot on in order to be fast, and you got to repeat that technique over and over again. You got to stay close to the water. You're watching Koenig really protect it here. Watch his head. Barely out of the water, stays really close, rolls those shoulders over. Nice kick, he'll touch the wall at 33.17. Jeremiah trying to break his previous time of 1:12.78. Right in behind him, Lansbaum, who is a very fast 12-year-old in this event. You heard Coach Chris Etherington talking about the zones team. Lansbaum was on track to make that zone team last year, so he'll still be vying for it this year. Followed quickly by Richter and Graham, Alcott, and Assinger. So looks like it's going to be Koenig, the 15-year-old. He'll be the first one to the wall, but I want to tell you what, Lansbaum closing now. 3 years difference in these two young men, but they're both going to shatter their times. Koenig, first one to the wall at 1:10.97. Just about 2 seconds off of his time, but Lansbaum with an enormous drop in his of over 5 seconds at 1:14.50. Third one to the wall in lane number 5 is Tyler Richter, also shaving off a significant time, 1:18.58 from his previous time of 1:27, 1:19.03 for Sierra Graham. She's just a little off her previous time, 1:27.65 for Alcott, and then Assinger, 1:37.49. We'll check those times as we go, but we're going to go do a 10-minute break. So as we do that, we want to thank everybody for watching us thus far. I'm going to give you that phone number one more time if you want to text in a note about your child, grandchild, whoever it may be. 314-369-3289. Identify yourself. Let me know who you are. Let me know who your child is, or the child is, the swimmer is. Tell me something interesting about them and maybe where they go to school. You can also use the chat box right there on the YouTube channel. That's also effective. We've had a number of people chime in through that as well. We'll get those messages along, and we'll to be able to mention that young swimmer right here on the air. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the 100-yard butterfly, 2 heats of that in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Parkway North High School. We are bringing you live the 2020 Parkway IMX Swim Club Swim Meet. We are getting ready for event number 5 here in this session, event number 23 overall of the meet. This will be the 100-yard mixed butterfly. We will have 2 heats here. First heat, just 3 swimmers, Kayla Wall, Ava Aschinger, and Carolyn Spoor. Wall does not yet have a time, but she is birthday, so turned 13 yesterday. Aschinger trying to beat 124.38 and Spoor 132.70. Again, this will be 4 lengths of the pool, 2 full laps. And this is more of the power stroke. Does require technique, but swimmers typically with longer arms, big wingspans, stronger upper bodies and core, and then of course the big strong kick are the ones who can excel at this one. As you see right now in the middle of your screen, Aschinger, the 16-year-old, looking to be the first one to the wall here, trying to beat her previous time, as we stated, at 124. She will be the first one to the wall at 39.04, ahead of her previous best time. Right in behind her is Wall, followed by Spoor in lane number 4. All 3 young ladies looking very strong at this point. Of course, we want to thank all the officials who's come in to help out with these events, and in this one, Brett Shank, the lead referee. You hear him shouting out the instructions and getting all the swimmers ready. You'll see him periodically to the lower left of the main screen. That's where the officials are stationed, and you see them throughout the rest of the pool. Coming in now to the wall here in just a moment, it's going to be Kayla Wall as she stretches this one out a little bit, about a body length, and 123.05. Nice touch from her. Soft touch from Aschinger, so we did not get her time registered, so just a little bit short of that. She would have been right around her time, and then 132.50, just 0.20 faster. She does touch the wall now, but that's not the official time. She was much faster than that, somewhere around the 124, 125 range is my guess. Now we'll go into heat number 2. We'll have 5 swimmers in this one. With lane 1 at the top of your screen, it'll be Liz Myers, Jeremiah Koenig, Audrey Wagner in lane 3, Emmett Shank in 4, and Jasmine Flowers in lane number 5. We want to thank all of their family members for riding in again along this network, and we'll go through a number of those notes here once again. And we got a note earlier from Liz Myers' grandparents and how much they're enjoying this. She's a freshman at Kirkwood High School, of course, and Josie Flowers wrote in about Jasmine a little bit. One of my favorite anecdotes so far of the weekend, her favorite band is the old 5-finger death punch. Little salute out there to Bruce Lee and the quick little whammy death punch that he can deliver back in the day. So that's Flowers. Of course, Emmett Shank is father down here refereeing. First one at the wall here, lane number 2, 33.51, and then lane number 3 at 33.81. Respectively are Koenig and Wagner, so they continue to roll. And Koenig using a big long wingspan. Koenig now stretching it out just a little bit. His previous best time coming in at 118. He should be a little bit ahead of that. Wagner coming in at 114. She's going to be right around that. 115 for Shank. He'll be right around that. Nice touch at 111.80 for Koenig. We want to mention Koenig here, as he has gotten all BB times in all of his races. In that previous stroke, the breaststroke, a couple of A times from Sierra Graham and Daniel Lansbaum, so congratulations to them. Also delivering a double B was Tyler Richter in that breaststroke, and then Penelope Alcott with a B time, so congratulations for all those achievements. We will try and total up these times here. Wagner coming in just under her best time at 113.18, over a second off of that. Nice job for her. Third place in the heat at 116.20 for Flowers. She shaved off over 4 seconds. Emmett Shank just a little bit shy of his best time with his registration on the board. We get a nice shout out here now as well. Grandparents of Cora Donaldson, they're watching from Jeff City. They want to thanks for the opportunity. So really the person you got to thank is my partner here this weekend, Kevin Girth. He's provided all the technology, the 3-camera setup, and making sure everything runs smoothly. Thank you him for giving up his entire weekend to really do this, and I get to do the easy part. That's just talk about the kids, and having 2 swimmers in the program, we know how much that means to the parents. It was tough a couple of weeks ago not getting to watch my son, but had the ability to watch him when some of the older kids swam, and now my daughter will swim this weekend as well, so that'll be quite a treat to be here to call that action. But one more final piece here at the event here for the 100-yard butterfly. As we're in just a little bit of a break, we'll total these up and we'll get you some of these times. But we mentioned Koenig a moment ago, BB times across the board, and we'll see how he did on that butterfly stroke. But he has been right Johnny on the spot all day long in achieving those new cuts. Those cuts came out just yesterday. They were delivered to head coach John David Williford, and he passed those along. They'll be posted on the Parkway website here. Koenig's 111 on that 100 fly, just short of the B time. Not quite where he was at earlier. We'll look at some of these other ones in the 13 and 14 age group. Low score there was Emmett Shank, and he also just off the B time. So no big achievements. Audrey Wagner at 1:13.18 does get a B time for her cut. Also with a B cut is Jasmine Flowers also achieving the B cut. So congratulations to Audrey and to Jasmine. I'm going to take a quick break. We come back in just a few moments. We'll have the final event of this second session of the day, 4th session overall. That will be the 200 freestyle. Back in just a few moments. We are back once again at Parkway North High School, broadcasting live the 2020 Parkway IMX. This version of the meet features the blue groups across the program, the age group select team, and the senior 1 team. We can now go to the final event here of this second morning session. So we go into the afternoon. It is the 200-yard freestyle. There'll be 3 heats in this one. The first one will pit 4 swimmers against each other. Charlie Schaefer in lane 2 at the top of the screen. Cora Donaldson, lane 3. CC Chen, lane 4. And Anderson Takaki in lane number 5, closest to you on your screen. This will be 8 lengths of the pool. 4 full laps for these youngsters. Schaefer and Takaki yet to establish a time, so this will be their first ever, and Donaldson and Chen trying to beat the 3-minute or so mark. Of course, first meet today. We got a nice note from Kayla Wall's mother, Sarah. She said this is her first ever meet, and she's enjoying watching it. Well, we're happy we could bring you these sights and sounds, and we hope she's enjoyed the program thus far. She's turned well in some really good times and shown herself well here in her first ever meet. So congratulations to that young lady. Swimmers now coming to the halfway point. First one to the wall will be Donald's. Excuse me. Will be Donald, or Schaefer, excuse me. Schaefer came in with no established time, followed by Donaldson. Donaldson on the touch, 1:17.82. And that should put her in good shape to go under 3 minutes. Followed there closely by Take and Chen. Both of them also looking to go under 3 minutes. And right now, they are well in line to do just that. We approach the three-quarter pole here in this one with Schaefer a couple body lengths ahead of Donaldson, who in turn is a couple body lengths ahead of Chen and Taki. Last full lap now. Coaches imploring their swimmers to keep pushing it. Of course, this one is about several different things. It's about technique, of course. It's about athletic ability. It's about speed and the ability to kick. And then also about how do you pace yourself? How do you know your body? You got to go out in a pace that does not wear you out, but also allow you to have enough energy to bring it home at the end. And right now, that's exactly what young Charlie Schaefer, the 12-year-old, is doing. He'll go well under 3 minutes in his first ever time in this 200-yard freestyle. He'll touch the wall at 2:31.04. Nice time for that young man. He's going to be quickly followed by Cora Donaldson. She will shatter her previous best at 2:39.89. Chen and Taki quickly to the wall as well. Chen, she'll come in at 2:47.88, well ahead of her previous time of 3:22, and a nice established first time for Taki at 2:48.85 for the young 11-year-old. So nice swim. Two improvements and two very good establishments from Taki and Schaefer. Their first time out. We'll now go to heat number 2 in this event. We'll have, looks like we're going to have 5 swimmers in this one with lane number 5, Tommy Fichter not in. Kuhn, top of your screen, lane number 1. Spoor, lane number 2. Tyler Richter in lane 3. Lillian Driscoll in 4. And Alcott in lane number 6. 2 12-year-olds, 2 13-year-olds, and a 14-year-old. First one up out of the water, stretching it out a little bit. In lane number 3, Tyler Richter. We've seen him swim this over the years. He's well adept at being able to pace his body, showing excellent technique now with his stroke. As is Driscoll in lane number 4 and Spoor in lane number 3. In fact, all 5 of these swimmers showing great technique. It was a nice push off the wall that time from Alcott. Now she looks to catch up, and she's going to overtake everybody. She'll be the first one to touch at 50. Nice time for her of 34.02. Her previous best was 3 minutes flat with 50.59, and so she's well ahead of that pace if she can keep it up. Her and Richter battling now. They'll touch the wall just about the same time. Alcott just slightly ahead of Richter. Then they're followed by Driscoll, Spoor, and Kuhn. Neck and neck now, Richter and Alcott. They'll come to the halfway point. They cross the flag just about the same time. Looks like Richter will be first to the wall on this one. He is at 1:11. Tyler's previous best time of 2:43.31. He is well ahead of that pace. If he can keep it up, he'll shatter that by a lot of ticks of the clock. Now he starts to stretch it out a little bit, as Alcott may have went a little hard early. Not sure that she's really fading as much as it is Richter just picking up steam and really showing his power. He's very fast to the wall now at the 3-quarter mark. 1:46 for that young man. Alcott will come in. She'll touch at 1:51, followed by Driscoll, 1:55, and it'll be Spoor and Kuhn that'll come up, and they'll make the last turn in just a moment. They are right with each other, almost stroke to stroke. You can see it at the top of your screen. Interesting watching them battle. But it's Richter now. He turns on the jets. He's halfway down the pool. You can bet he knows he's got the opportunity to get a best time. Trying to beat 2:43. He's going to be well ahead of that, folks. Strong to the wall. The touch, 2:22.47 for Tyler Richter. Way to go, Tyler. He shatters that previous best by almost 21 seconds. Next one is Alcott. 2:32.61 again, almost a half a minute. 30 seconds for her, half a minute. Right in behind them, 2:36.07. Nice jump of 7 seconds for Driscoll. It'll be Kuhn who will touch next in lane number 1. She'll hit it at 2:50. She'll drop 5 seconds. And 2:52.45, a drop of a third of a second for Spoor. Way to go to those young ladies as they come in very strong. But Tyler Richter really took that one all the way through from the very start, and he powers his way to a 21-second drop. Now here we are in heat number 3. This will be the final heat, and it'll actually be the final race of this second session today. It'll be Astringer in lane 1, Graham in lane 2, Matheny in 3, Myers in 4, Hewitt in lane 5, and Lansbaum in lane number 6. Lane number 3, it'll be Matheny. She'll take the early lead. We know her ability to swim this event is a very good one. She knows how to pace herself. We've seen her do well in this 200 freestyle throughout the last couple of years. She's flanked on each side by Myers and Graham. And then on the outside, it's Lansbaum, who's having a very strong meet thus far for the young 12-year-old. We talked about him a minute ago in the breaststroke. He was one of those youngsters that had an opportunity, was really on pace to look at going to the zones meet, and he'd love to get right back there again. So those three battle for the second place. Then they're followed by Hewitt and Assinger. Off the wall here now is Matheny. A couple of body lengths ahead of the next competitor, which is Lansbaum. He's followed closely, by Myers and Graham, then Hewitt and Assinger once again. So quickly to the wall and off the wall at a very fast time of 105.16 for Matheny, 106.99 also very fast for Lansbaum, both of them well ahead of their previous time. Matheny's previous best, 2:14.50. Lansbaum, 2:36.34. As we watch the turns and how deep the swimmers can get, those pull-outs underwater, stretches underwater, breakouts underwater. It's also a telltale sign a lot of times of how fast they can be. Here's Matheny to the wall now. She'll hit it at 1:39. She'll go back the other way for her final lap. Lansbaum trying to catch up. He's about 2.5, 3 body lengths behind. Almost even as they come to the wall are Graham and Myers, followed by Hewitt, and then Assinger at the top of your screen once again. Matheny will touch the other end of the pool. She'll come back now. Once again, she's looking to break a 2:14.50. She's going to be right on pace to do that now. She's going to have to be strong back to the wall. See where she can get to. Inside the flag, she's going to come home and touch. She'll touch in 2:12.96, and so she'll shave off almost 2 seconds for that young lady. Nice swim for her. Right in behind her, 2:19.58 is Lansbaum. Massive drop for him of over 16 seconds. Next one to the wall in lane number 2 at 2:27.18, a drop of a half a second for Graham. Myers coming in at 2:28. She was a little bit off her time. 2:35.46, just a little off her time as well for Hewitt, and then Assinger will round things out at 2:47.53, so just a little off her time as well. Well, folks, that'll just about wrap it up here. We're gonna get those two top times real quick for Matheny and Lansbaum to see did they actually achieve that cut, or did they get their next cut. For Matheny at the 200 free, that is, well, let's see here, the 200 free, she just missed the double A time. She's solid single A time all the way through. We'll look at Lansbaum on the other side at 2:19, young Daniel. Good time for him, a double B time as well. So congratulations to those youngsters for their achievement. Also, Hewitt gets a B time as well. So good times all the way around for all of those youngsters. Sierra Graham. Just under the double B time, so she's in there at a double B time. So a lot of cuts being made for all those youngsters. B time as well for Liz Myers. So there you go, folks. Lots of achievements there is that one. Well, folks, that'll just about end it. We want to thank again our producer, and cameraman Kevin Girth. He's the one who's allowing you to watch all this great action. We appreciate his time and effort throughout the weekend. Thank all the coaches and all the timers as well as the officials. We're going to sign off. We'll come back. Our next one, final session of the day, is set to start about 1:30 p.m. Until then, so long.